Hey, it's good to have you here. A Simply Slow English podcast chat about a trip to the cinema. You can listen in the background. You can say a few words or simply watch. You are allowed to take your time here and just enjoy English. I hope you're doing okay today. Do you like to go to the cinema? I like to go, but I don't go very often. Do you? Is it just a short trip out? Or do you make a day of it? Do you spend most of the day at the cinema? I was planning to go on a Saturday. I thought that would be a perfect day. And after the film, me and my friends could eat something. There is a little pizza restaurant at the cinema. We had planned to go on a Saturday, but Saturday came and we didn't feel like going. And we thought maybe Sunday would actually be a better day to go. Do you make plans and change your plans? Or do you stick to your plans and not change the plan? We did go on the Sunday. We made it. Before going, I thought, what do I need to bring with me? Do I take some drink? Maybe a snack? Something small to eat during the film? I decided to take a drink, and I decided that I maybe need some warmer clothes, like a jumper or a jacket, because I never really know what the temperature is going to be like at the cinema. especially when you are sitting down watching a film for a few hours. Sometimes I get a little bit cold when I am sitting there. There is maybe air conditioning, aircon turned on to make the cinema room more cool so it doesn't get too hot. But I remember times where I had gone to watch a film and I felt chilly, a bit cold. So I thought, I am going to take I think I took a shirt, a thicker shirt, and a jumper. But I think I also took a jacket, even though it was a hot day. You never know if you might get chilly, right? I also took a pair of leggings. Leggings are like thin trousers because I was wearing a skirt. It was nice and warm, but I wanted to make sure I don't get cold legs in the cinema. So, yeah, the film was, well, apparently the film would be 2.5 hours. 2 hours, 30 minutes long. So I wanted to be comfortable, you know? When I drove to the location, I parked my car and I tried to park it out of the sun. I did not want the car to get too hot, boiling hot. It was a hot day. But the road that I parked on was really sunny. There was no shade. So I just parked in the sunshine. It was okay though. Nothing melted from the heat of the sun when I returned to my car. I know someone who had a pair of sunglasses or glasses, and they left these glasses in their car for a few hours. But it was a really hot day, and the sunglasses or glasses were melted. When they returned to the car, they found their glasses. The plastic material was broken. The heat had just melted the plastic into kind of liquid, not really liquidy, but the glasses changed shape completely. Imagine that. Has that ever happened to your glasses? Has the sun melted a different item of yours? Okay, so parking is done. Then I meet my friends and go towards the cinema. I remember there were some people in front of us waiting to cross a road, and a car let those people cross the road. They let them walk over the road. So me and my friends thought, okay, will that driver in the car also let us walk across the road? And we started walking a bit across this road, but the car started driving a bit. It started to move forward. So we stopped and waited and thought, oh, okay, that car just wants to drive now. It maybe doesn't want to wait for us, for more people to cross the road. But then the driver stopped, and we then thought, oh, okay, maybe let's go. I remember it was one of those moments where no one can really decide and make up their mind who should go first. We then made it across the road, and we went into the cinema. But I think we walked through the wrong door. Do you do that sometimes? You think, whoops, that might have been the exit, not the entrance. And so we were at a counter for food, not the ticket counter. We were standing in the pizza restaurant area, not the area for the tickets. So I think the man serving food, the staff member, said, "Can I get you guys any food?" And my friend said, we would like to buy a cinema ticket. The man said, "Okay, no problem, it's just over there." So we said, "Thank you, bye." And we walked to the other counter desk. That same man was walking over to the desk for the tickets. We said bye to him, but he will still be serving us in a moment over at this counter. One of those moments where you say bye and then hi again. So it was time to buy our tickets. And he said, "Look at the screen and choose where you would like to sit." I looked at the screen and saw there were blue seats and white seats, two different colours. I was looking and thinking, maybe those seats would be ideal, perfect. So I said to my friends, "How about those?" But then I realised we were looking at the wrong type of seat, the wrong colour. Maybe blue was available, free, no one is sitting there, we can sit in those. And white was unavailable, not available, not free to sit in. I was looking at the white ones, not the blue ones. So the staff member said, "Oh, not those. They are not available." Ah, okay. Change of seat plan. So it took a few moments. Actually, it did take quite a few moments. Probably over a minute, to decide where we wanted to sit. Sometimes there is just a bit too much choice, and you take ages. You take a while to decide, what do I want? What do we want? I also remember the staff member asking if we had a discount card, a card that gives you the ticket for a lower price, maybe 5% off or 10% off the total cost. And I was thinking, do I have a discount card? I could not remember. I don't. But I was just not sure in that moment. It sometimes can get a bit confusing when you have a discount card for a different place, like a supermarket, and you can't maybe remember which card you've got. Maybe you know that feeling. So, ticket time, the man probably said to us that costs £9 each. I can't remember the exact price, but probably something like that, around £9. So after paying at the cinema, before watching the film, you maybe think, I will go to the toilet because it's a long film and I don't really want to get up for the toilet during the film. So, toilet done, and then you go into the cinema room. I've started to enjoy watching the adverts before the film. I didn't really like them before, but recently I thought, they are actually quite cool because the sound is quite loud and it just made the atmosphere different. Different to when you watch adverts at home, just on TV or on your phone. There was something quite different and energizing about these adverts, these ads on the big screen with more sound effects. Do you like watching the adverts at the cinema? Do you arrive at the cinema in time to watch the adverts? Or do you not really like them? You just arrive when the film starts. Okay, so then a member of staff sometimes comes into the room and stands in front of all the seats. They are standing at the front of the room and they maybe say, okay, let's make sure our phones are on silent so that there is no noise from people's phones during the film. And this person said, I hope you all enjoy the film. I then answered and said, thank you, but I think I was the only person in the whole room to say something. My friends said, no one does that. I was just happy that the person said, enjoy your time. We made sure our phones were on silent. But you know when you aren't exactly sure, you are not exactly certain that you turned your phone on silent. You think you did, but you really want to be sure. So you get your phone out again and check. You double check you pressed silent because maybe you don't want to be that person with the phone that rang during the film. So, watching a film. Do you have a favourite type of film? This film was a historical film. It was about a time long ago. A long time ago in history. And I enjoyed the film. I thought it was very good. I especially actually liked the moments where I felt a bit scared. There were moments, points during the film where I got a surprise and I even got a fright. I think once I made a noise. Something, well, I think I shrieked. Yeah, not a scream. Not really big and loud, but a quick, short, sudden shriek. Have you made a sound and you wonder, oh, did everyone hear that? You get such a fright. I just remembered a word, a gasp. A gasp is something like that. I definitely gasped at least once, at least one time. Have you ever gasped during a film with people around you? Then, when the film is finished, you maybe have a look to check the floor and the seats, to check that you have not left any things, your phone, your wallet, your keys, your jacket, because the room is usually quite dark, so it's difficult to see if you have forgotten something, some of your belongings. I used the torch, the bright light from my phone, and I shone the light onto the seat and onto the floor to look properly. And good that I did, because somehow my trousers, my leggings were on the floor. I thought, how did they get there? Strange. But then I remembered during the film, I had some of my drink. So I had taken my bottle out of my bag. I had all my clothes, my jumper, my jacket, everything else in the bag. So when I took the bottle out, my trousers fell out of my bag. That must have been what happened. I don't think my friends threw my leggings out of my bag, but who knows? Then we went out of the main room and walked next to the restaurant. But funnily, we were not actually very hungry. So we said, shall we just eat later? So you can plan something. You can plan the cinema for one day, but then change your plan and go the next day. You can plan to have a meal and then you change that plan and don't actually have a meal. Do you ever experience something like that? Well, I hope you enjoyed listening today. Maybe you listened, maybe you said a few words, maybe you just watched. It's all enough. It's all okay. Maybe you come back to this video later or another day, and maybe you hear something that you didn't hear the first time. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye.